Hey, it's Dorleen and welcome to my channel. I'm working on a one-page layout using this paper pad. Now the papers in this pad are like a summer themed, and that's why I chose them. But if you notice as I'm flipping through, the papers are very, very thin. So what I'm going to do is, you see that black paper right here. This was actually in my, trash to treasure pile because I no longer need it. But look at how beautiful that paper is, and it's pretty thick cardstock. So I decided that I'm going to use that as my base page for this layout. Now, of course, I have the 40 side showing, but I use the solid side. So that's a good tip if you have some paper that you think you don't want or you don't need anymore. A lot of times they're just plain white in the background. So instead of using a white piece of cardstock, you can always use the backside of one of these trash to treasure papers. So I cut 3 strips of this paper. That orange one, or that yellow, I'm not sure what you want to call it, is 3 by 10, and the other 2 are 3 by 9. I wanted that orange one in the center because that is my favorite one. So I am following a sketch, and this is a sketch from Sketch and Scrap, which I will have the link down below in the information box, as well as a link to my blog, which will give you more details and more close-ups of the actual layout. So I'm doing a month in review page of June. So that's why I chose that pad, because it is like a summer themed pad, even though it's really dark, rich colors, but maybe that is what summer is supposed to be. So these are kind of just photos that I took throughout the month. I got a new car. My granddaughter made good grades, or like principal's list, and we were really excited about that for her. It was our dog's 11th birthday, and then the other one of my granddaughter was just a shot that we took, and so I wanted to incorporate it as well on this layout. So the layout called for those 3 kind of big strips of paper in the middle, and then 1 horizontal strip going across. So I decided to use the paper in the pad, those pages that have all the little cutouts, the journaling boxes, all those kind of embellishments. So that's what I did here, and I thought that the saying was, pretty perfect for what I was doing, because it really doesn't get much better than this, just life in general, right? So I like the way that looks. I went ahead and adhered it off screen. You don't need to see me put adhesive on the back of pictures and the back of papers. Now, the one thing I should have done is, when I put that horizontal strip, I put adhesive throughout the whole thing. I should have kept a little bit of a space between the edge and the adhesive, because I was planning on tucking in those photos. I did pull it off a little bit, so I was able to sort of tuck it in, but I think I would have liked to have tucked it in a little more. The first thing I did was I adhere the smaller pictures, are the ones that are going in the back, and then of course the other ones over on top. I like the way it looks so far. I think it looks pretty. That black paper as the base looks so good with those colored papers. And so now I'm just going to kind of choose what I'm going to use for my journaling box. What I'm trying to do is use up these old paper pads that I've had for years. This one I've had, God, forever. And I know it was a gift for something. I don't know if it was Christmas, my birthday, something. And this is the first time I've used it, and I really love the color, so I'm really kind of surprised at myself. But like I mentioned, it is a summer themed paper pad. But as I'm pulling off these pieces, like here it says, it's flip-flop season. Sure, I'm wearing flip-flops in my picture of me wearing my car, but even though this is in June, it really doesn't scream summer. So then I started thinking, gosh, are some of those elements really what I want? Because sure, they fit, or they match color scheme wise, because of course it's all from the same paper pad, but it really wasn't what the pictures were all about. So I changed my mind on that flip-flop season little tag, and I just started pulling some of the other ones, and most of it's like, life is good, it doesn't get any better than this, those kind of things, because it's just really upbeat and still follows the color scheme, and I felt it fit better than more of a like summertime flip-flop season, things like that. So, and that's why I chose that plain rectangle for the journaling spot. So those little round sections, I'm just grabbing a punch. I think it's a 1 3/4 inch punch, and I'm punching those out. So I'm going to use those for embellishments. And then I do use one of those squares that I showed earlier, the green one, and you'll see me do that in a minute. So I'm just placing these things down as I kind of see fit. And at first I put that circle, or one of the circle punches, up on that top right corner, and then I realized I kind of left 4 cluster areas, and I really always try to do 3 when possible. And so that worked, and I just tucked it in underneath the journaling tag and then that other little square. And I thought that really looked a lot better for what I was doing. Now, I'm not saying you always have to do the triangle, visual triangle thing, work in odd numbers, etc., etc. But honestly, it does normally look best when you do that. So, I decided to mat that one little banner with green, and instead of grabbing or looking for a matching green cardstock, I just used one of those cutouts because I figured, like I said, this is the first time I've used this pad, and I've had it for at least 5 years. And I felt okay about kind of, if you want to say, wasting that one little piece of green paper. Once I adhere everything down, I really like the way it looks. Went ahead and cut off that circle that was over or coming off the edge. And again, it's very simple, but look at how beautiful that is. Very colorful. It really focuses on the photos, which is how I like to scrapbook. I've mentioned it before. I love showcasing pictures. I usually scrapbook with more than one photo on a page. Not always, but usually. And focusing on the photos and then adding some of my embellishments. You buy them for a reason, so we should be using them. But I do hope you like this. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I do at least 2 videos a week, and one will always be scrapbooking, and the second is whatever it is I'm creating in the Command Center, which is the name of my blog, which I'll have the link down below, and also the name of my craft room. But enjoy these photos, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.